Alright, next episode of the Young Indiana Jones Chronicles. Benares, January 1910. Written by Jonathan Hensley, directed by Deepa Mehta. Apparently the only woman to ever direct like an Indiana Jones anything. I mean, it's cool they got an Indian director for this episode specifically because it takes place in India, it deals with Indian culture and religion and stuff, so that's nice. So the opening book ends with Old Indy in the 90s. These aren't really memorable, it's just Indy is at like a diner or like a coffee shop place, and there's like a truck driver coming in and he's just kind of depressed and acting like an asshole, and Indy is just, telling him the story of how he met Krishnamurti, and he wants to get the guy to like think about his actions and stuff, and hopefully the guy will find some, solace, I guess. And then the main story, again, flashback. It is 1910, we have little Indy, played by Corey Carrier, and, the family is on the World Lecture Tour still, and they are visiting a religious society in Benares, and little Indy is becoming friends with Krishnamurti, who is being hailed as like the new savior of this religion. And that's it, basically. These two kids then just talk about like the different religions and, what it means and stuff and how to act. And that is interesting, I guess. Again, this falls into the education category of this being somewhat of a kids' show. But it's nice enough, it's just not really like gripping or exciting. But then we got the plot with Indy's tutor, Miss Seymour, who's becoming friends with like the leader lady of this society, and she's also investigating like the guy who wrote basically the Bible of this group, and she thinks he's a fraud, and that is the more interesting plot that's going on here. And in total, it's a fascinating episode. It makes you think, and it has some nice emotional stuff going on. And it also looks good, India is a nice location for stuff like this, but it's not, I don't expect it to be action-packed, but there is just some excitement missing from this, which I feel would have been necessary. If you want to get kids to really like give a shit when watching this, it needs to have something more going on. I find it interesting as an adult watching this and how, this is all handled here, and I think it's done well, but I'm trying to imagine myself as like an 10 to 12-year-old watching this. I don't think if I watched this episode I would be a fan of the show. I don't know, it's a good episode, but I'm glad we are switching back to Sean Patrick Flannery with the next one. And that is Paris, October 1916.